Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Swati Verma Sood and I'm here to help all English speakers learn about voice and accent. What is voice training? Your voice not only delivers your message, it can say a lot about you, like it or not. People make judgments based on the way you communicate. In short, your professional success will depend on your speaking skills. Voice training programs are designed for both native and non-native speakers of English. And normally, the training is focuses on a very specific aims and can help audience or a participants to speak with greater authority and confidence. It reduces problems caused by an accent and improve individual sounds to be clear. Who is it for? So it is for anyone who needs to be successful communicator, but who feels that one or more aspects of their speech prevent them fully achieving this. So people from wide range of professions, they take voice and accent training. That includes executives, politicians, lawyers, sales personnel, consultants, doctors, employees from BPOs and call centers. So we can say voice and accent is a systematic method to impart a neutral English accent. And this method comprises of learning phonology or dialect of the language in question. In other words, it's also recognized as accent alteration, de-accentation, or accent neutralization training, where people can develop an accent so that they can communicate easily with a global audience. Whether you are dealing with students in other country, whether you are dealing with professionals of a foreign national or your clients. So V&A training focuses on accent neutralization. It also focused on helping participants to comprehend their international clients with greater ease. And once you learn it properly, you can observe a proper comprehensibility of the communication. And it is really in demand by the BPO people, BPO employees, because they are directly connecting with global audience. There are various benefits of this training. What all you can learn once you focus on developing this skill. This is not a one-day job. One needs to understand the basic and keep on working or improving your skills. With time, with experience, you will gain confidence on these words, but this requires a lot of rehearsals and practice on the regular basis. Once you learn this, you will speak more clearly and confidently, understand and use your voice more effectively, and extend the range of your voice. Non-native or native speakers who have a good level of English may choose voice training to soften an accent. And voice training will improve your presentation and public speaking skills as well. This will help anyone to communicate more effectively, not only with large audiences, but with the small groups too. So I'm sure now you are mentally prepared to learn about voice and accent training. So when we are talking about accent neutralization, that means that we have to learn to comprehend the international clients with greater ease. You can also observe the proper comprehensibility of the communication. And English accent training is of particular importance in a PPO training, as we have already discussed. Now, this is a very common term, MTI. MTI, the full form is Mother Tongue Influence. We in India understand this very well, that we all belong to different states and we have number of mother tongues from different states. So people who are speaking different languages, Hindi, Punjabi, Gujarati, or maybe some languages in South like Tamil, Kannada, or Malayali, etc. They all have their own influence of their mother tongue. So when they speak this second language, or I should say third language, if they also speak Hindi, it becomes very difficult for them to get rid of that influence of the mother tongue. They speak regularly in their home with their family members, or maybe with their neighbors or surroundings. In any state, if you go in a professional place or workplace also, the local people, they continue with the local language, regional language. So MTI is a major problem with the professionals as well. So many companies are looking for reducing MTI, reducing mother tongue influence in English, because English is the language which is professionally used worldwide. Now, what techniques we follow to neutralize MTI? So there are many techniques, but a simple techniques which will help anyone to neutralize MTI. So one of the best way is one should make English sound fluent. And MTI issue solved is to communicate in English daily. So as I mentioned earlier also, one needs to communicate in English on the regular basis. Second thing one can do is they should speak to their colleagues or friends on the regular basis in English only, so that they will get a guidance from their friends, or maybe any other partner who have a good English speaking, who have a neutral accent. And daily communication will help anyone to bring down the MTI effect, and they will become more confident in English speaking. Now, to reduce the MTI, there are some more techniques or methods which we are talking about. Number one is learning to pronounce sounds in isolation. Now, what does this mean? This is one way to establish correct pronunciation and to train pronouncing sounds in isolation as a separate entities. We have people at home who continuously come and talk to you in the regional tongue. It may be Hindi, it may be any other, right? And those sounds are well recognized and observed or absorbed, I should say, by the brain. So it is not easy to get over with it. So when you sit alone and focus on some sounds which you are learning on the regular basis in English, that will slowly get absorbed by your brain, and you can improve on the accent part. So closing your eyes and saying one sentence will help you to neutralize that particular sentence or the words which are there in that sentence, those vocabularies which are there in that sentence. And slowly, when you go back and speak with someone else, those words will come with a neutral accent. Mute period is where you can, if you are really passionately wants to learn this, then what you can do is for some time you close your ears for all the other language and only focus on English language if you are working on the English voice and accent neutralization, right? So today we are talking about only English. So a mute period is where you can mute yourself for quite some time, give your brain relaxation, observe the people who are actually an English speaker. You can watch videos, you can watch movies, some daily soaps or anything, and mute yourself. Let your brain absorb these, the language, the way the people are speaking. So I'm sure the people understand English, but they are finding difficulty in improving. So when you start, observing others slowly, gradually, your tongue movement will also start, as per that. So a mute period is one of the a beautiful technique which will help your brain to get ready for it. You can also use writing samples. So those writing samples, maybe a short paragraph, will help you to work on only those particular vocabularies. Say for example, you choose a paragraph of 50 words. Now your focus is entirely on that particular script of 50 words only, and you will master those 50 words first, right? So whenever you go back, and it can be from any storybooks, it can be anything, it can be from newspaper, article, magazine. So you can choose that particular paragraph of 50 words, 60 words, small paragraph, master it, and then move on to the next script. So this is, or you can write for yourself some one paragraph of a routine today. So that is also in useful, because then you can read it as a dialogue and improve it. Full immersion is one method, is one of the way to quickly decrease the influence of a mother tongue uh, into a linguistic and cultural environment of a target language, where you have to completely immerse yourself in that language. You will stop talking in any other language, but you will completely, passionately work to improve communication in English only. So you have to speak only in English uh, and no other language. So that is actually a full immersion. Some people successfully able to do it, but if you are living in a family, and if you know that maybe your mother doesn't know how to speak, or your father never speak in English, that time this full immersion technique is a little difficult. So if it is possible for you to do this, then this is one of the the quickest way, I should say, to reduce your MTI. So once this will be reduced, then in future you can always have a control that again your mother tongue will not influence your English speaking. And you can also do a last practice, which is written over here, is a bilingual practice. Bilingual practice is where you have to make your brain ready to speak 2 or 3 languages together without affecting your accent of that language. So when you are speaking in Hindi, your accent will be for Hindi, and when you are speaking in English, your accent will be in English, and when you are speaking in Punjabi, you switch over to Punjabi. And there are many people in our country, they have mastered it already. They are speaking in multiple languages, and whenever they switch over to other language, you will see a greater confidence in them. So reducing MTI can be easy if you have a full immersion, if you have a passion, and this requires only some time. Okay, so if you just plan, or if you just fix your mind that in 2 months I have to master the accent, or in 1 month I have to master the accent, depends on where you are you professionally working, are you living with a family, because many people nowadays are working from home, they may not go to their workplace on the regular basis. So the time of learning may vary, right? Maybe for the student it is more easy because most of the students in college and schools are speaking in English right now, and now the students are, of course, kids are quick learners, right? So it will definitely help them. All right, so that was about that, what techniques or what planning you can do for yourself to neutralize your accent. Pronunciation and accent. Now, what is pronunciation? Now, I am also speaking English right now. Something is already observed by my brain, right? And my brain has that those things saved. So I am pronouncing those words what I have learned, right? So pronunciation is nothing. It is the way in which a word or a language is spoken. So when I read English, I have those things already, like I have already trained my brain for those words and pronunciation, and slowly, gradually, I have learned speaking. Similarly, all of you, all of us, we do for different languages, right? So, so pronunciation is just the way in which a word or a language is spoken. Okay, so now these are the sequence of sounds used in speaking a given word or a language in a specific dialect, or simply the way a particular individual speaks a word or a language, right? So there is a specification, like if I talk about any other language, every language has different alphabets, and every alphabet has different sounds, right? And once we learn the phonetics, the sound, we easily connect each and every alphabet and make it a word, and when we connect the words, we make it a sentence. So that way it works in every language. So to put it simply, pronunciation is the way we pronounce each syllable of the word, which can be accurate or not. Pronouncing which, like, probably we have less knowledge on accent, and maybe sometimes we don't pronounce it correctly as per our knowledge through the pronunciation. And of course, due to mother tongue influence also, it happens that sometimes we pronounce it wrongly. So one example you can see on the slide: DAWN or DOWN. So many people, when they look at this word or DOWN, and instead of pronouncing down, they pronounce it as John. And that makes a difference because DAWN has a different meaning and DOWN has a different meaning. So when we pronounce it wrongly, the meaning of the word changes. And that is where, if you are speaking to someone who is an English speaker, and if you say the same thing, he will understand it differently, and it will create a lot of problem in your, uh, professional place, especially when you are dealing with clients, or maybe if you are doing a troubleshooting to some client, or anything else, if you are dealing, or if you are doing a business with some foreign national. This happens with everyone in every country, actually, right? So there is people who are speaking their local language, their country's language, and like in India, we have different states. In other countries also, they have a different languages in different states. Even English in English country, if you go, there are different states, and every state has a different style of speaking English, right? So we all will face a difficulty in understanding all the state languages, but our idea here is to learn the new to do the accent neutralization part of it, so that it will be neutral for every audience, right? Okay, so everyone who will hear that word will understand. Okay. So accent is a language, rhythm and melody which distinguishes regional variation of the same language. So regional variation, we don't have to focus on that. Like you are facing problem, others are also facing problem in the same language. If, like, the people in China, they are almost like us, right? For them also English is a second language. People in other countries who are speaking French, Germany, they are speaking different languages. So it's difficult. It's as equally difficult for them as well, right? So to learn that rhythm and melody should be our target. Right? So now here we have a word, okay, tomato, right? And we can pronounce it differently. I am not sure what you will pronounce it, but it's very simple. It's tomato. Okay, how we pronounce it? Tomato. And maybe people who read TOS2 and MAS more, of course, so they may pronounce it as tomato, right? But that is not correct. A rhythm and melody, like, our brain quickly tells us, no, it's not a right rhythm. But because TO is two, maybe people will pronounce it as tomato, tomato, maybe. So that is actually changing the rhythm and melody of a word. So this is what we have to learn, that how we can pronounce the word. I'm showing you a most commonly mispronounced words, right? And you can check your pronunciation knowledge of all these words, whether you are pronouncing it correctly or not. And these are quite commonly used words in our day-to-day life. We all use these words and make uh, mistakes. So I am stopping here for a minute so that you can read out all the words, and then I will tell you that what is the exact pronunciation of these words, and then you understand that where you are making the mistake. All right, so I believe that you all have tried reading it once in your mind or maybe loudly. Okay, now let's try and understand the pronunciation of each word. So the first one, of course, I'm speaking it again and again, and I was also, trying to mispronounce it so that you will not learn before we go ahead and do it. So, okay, so the first one, pronunciation, right? So check, is it correct or not? Are you speaking it correctly or not? So when we talk about this particular word, it is pronounced in this way. Okay, so you can see the sound breakups over here. So it is pronounced as pronunciation, 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 pronunciation. So when you look at this word, you have to pronounce it like pronunciation. Pronunciation. Okay. Now the second word, normally or mostly people who are not much aware of the silent alphabet in this word, they pronounce it as cupboard, cupboard. Okay, so they pronounce it like that. So we should learn this as well. And the breakup of the sound in this is cupboard. What is it? Cupboard, cupboard. So P is silent in this, and even R is not very clearly pronounced in this. So it is cupboard. So P and R in this, if you see, are silent. So we are saying pronunciation, pronunciation, cupboard, right? Now, many people, they make a mistake in the third word, that is apitone, and they sometimes pronounce it as a epitome. They pronounce it as a epitome because E is there. So because of E, they pronounce it as epitome, you know. So this is mistake we do. So what is the breakup of this word is epitome, epitome. So this is the right pronunciation. It's not epitome, it's epitome, epitome. Okay, so there is a sound which is there, epitome, epitome. Okay, so E here is giving a sound called to E, epitome. Okay, next word is SALMON and ALMOND. Now this is having a similar, a common alphabets, that is ALMON. So that's why it is written together to make you understand, right? So let's see how we pronounce this. Now in this, people pronounce it as salmon, almond, like that normally. But again here, whenever it is AL, so L is silent in this word, and it is like salmon, salmon. Okay? L is silent, so it's salmon. And similarly, almond, almond, right? Okay. Now, if you read the next word, that is library or February. Okay, if I just read it word to word, it will be like this: library or February. Let's see what is the breakup. So the breakup is library, library. So there is a sound again over here, library, library. So I'm going to library, or this is a February month. This is a February month. February month. So it's February. 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 Then normally the next word people read it as a definitely, definitely, and so many other pronunciations. So let's see. It's again DE is pronounced here as a. So it's definitely, definitely, definitely. So I will definitely help you learning voice and accent. That's I will definitely help you learn voice and accent. So you break it and then try to speak it together. Now ASKO, such a small word, but people say it ask, okay, differently. So there is a confusion. Pronunciation is very simple. It is ask, ask, okay, ask. I've heard people say ask. It's not correct. It's ask. Simple, ask. Open your mouth, ask. Simple. Now, this word is also wrongly pronounced, and people pronounce it as Wednesday because they are not wrong, they are not aware. So they are reading it as it is written. So it is Wednesday. People say it as a Wednesday. but the correct pronunciation for this word is Wednesday. Okay, so the T in this is again silent, and we are pronouncing it as Wednesday, right? Yeah, such a common word. I have a pain in my stomach, or I have a pain in my stomach, or stomach. So yeah, again, mispronounced word. So what is the correct pronunciation? The correct pronunciation is stomach. So it's S-T-U-H. Okay, sto. O is O. Read as O over here. So stomach. Okay. So A is also read as O over here. So stomach. It's stomach. So I have a pain in my stomach. Stomach. Next, normally read it as a clothes, right? Or cloth or something like that. So let's see what is the right word. So the word is clothes. 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 It's coming from the throat, epiglottis, clothes. All right. So I'm sure that you are also finding that yes, we do such mistakes on the regular basis, right? I have few more. You can see few more over here, and I'm directly showing you these words. Okay. So the first one, you can read it out. It's especially. Okay, so there is a long E sound for LLY, especially, especially. Okay. Second is escape. It's I sound, I sound. So there are two sounds in this escape, escape, espresso. Espresso. So there are three sounds in this word. Espresso. Espresso. Okay. So there are three sounds. When there are two or more sounds, we call it as a diphthong. We will talk about it in the later slides also. Okay. So you can see now that there are multiple sounds in some word. Okay. Probably. Okay, so there are two B's, so it's divided into three sounds, O, A, and Y. So probably, no, so that's what we say, probably. Then the next one you can see is YOLK, right? So we normally read as like, if you read it word to word, then it is yolk. But again, L is silent over here, and we read it as a yolk, right? Then, oh, this is commonly mistaken word. D-E-S-E-R-T, D-E-S-S-E-R-T. Some people pronounce it as desert, desert, and a lot of other things. Okay, so there is a simple description for this. You can read it out. So normally the first one, where one S is there, it has two sounds together, so it's desert, desert. Okay, desert. So when there is a single S, it's desert. Okay, when there is a double S, then there is a sound, and we call it as a desert. There's a long E over here, and this is the symbol. We'll talk about the symbols in the later slides. So when there is a long E, there is a sound called desert, desert. Now what is the meaning? Desert is a dry or a sandy place, or we also use desert for uh, deserting someone or leaving someone alone. Okay, no longer helping them or something. And when we talk about dessert, dessert is basically a sweet dish. Okay, normally we take it in the end of the name. So this is the simple difference between the two. So desert and desert. Desert, desert. You can read this desert or desert. Desert. Then again, how we read this WONEN, woman. Okay, not wrong for a common like commonly who doesn't know about it, no, who doesn't know the rules, who have not studied voice and accent. uh, One can understand, right? They will read what they are seeing. So woman, but it's actually women. Okay, so the O here is sounding as E. So women, okay, women. So that is what we are pronouncing it. If you read this SOUTHERN, normally people read it as a south, southern. Okay, so they say southern, but it's not exactly southern. When it is OU, it is sounding as O over here. So it's southern. Okay, we pronounce it as southern, southern, southern. Again, there are two sounds in this word. Southern, southern. Look at the southern side of the map. We are moving towards to the southern side of the city. It's southern. And commonly mistaken words, we can say iron, iron. Okay, but the sound here is iron, iron. So your R is silent over here, and it's iron, AIUHN, two sounds. So capital I over here, it's pronounced as AI, and earn. So there is a sound over here. Then we have specific. Okay, so normally we say specific, specific, or many other sounds. Again, when we have a mother tongue influence, we have different sounds. But here we have to speak it as a specific, specific. So there is a long sound over here. It's a eh, eh. Okay, so the sound is coming from the throat. Specific. So like this, it's falling. So I am looking for specific lipstick. I'm looking for specific lipstick. Then this is simple, but still people make a mistake in this. So they say sixth, 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 sixth. Different sounds. But a sound should be sixth, sixth, sixth. AS together, sixth, sixth, sixth. So it's not a long sound, it's a short sound. So here in specific, there is a long sound, but in sixth, it's a short sound. Then crowd, cloud, all are very commonly mistaken words. So you can see it's simple, single sound, crowd, cloud, crowd. So it's a short sixth, crowd. It's not crowd, it's not cloud. Okay, it's crowd or cloud, crowd or cloud. Okay, ow sound, AW. That's ow sound, a short ow sound, short o sound. So it's crowd or cloud. It's not crowd, not cloud. Okay, so these are some words which I wanted to share with all of you, which are mispronounced most of the time.